There is no need for you to be wiping your eyes now. The show is live.
Now,
Look, hold on. That is not what I had planned a few seconds ago. Hey everybody, let me turn this off. We couldn't wait to do a show. We're in our own studio location right now. Don't have everything set up yet, but we decided to go ahead and do a little live tonight. Play around a little bit, something new. Ursula, you tell them what's the name of tonight?
So this is our first episode of Keeping It 100 After Dark. This is like a setup we just did just for right now. We're gonna come back. It's gonna be a lot better background, and the setup is gonna be a lot better coming back. But we couldn't wait to let's get one in the books.
Just get one in the chamber.
And it has been
a mess.
Comical.
It has been a mess.
It's been comical.
It has been a mess. I'm gonna tell you what she did. So we was in here. We was trying to get the lights together. No blame you for that. We was trying to get the lights together so we can have enough light, the whole nine. And it was completely dark. It just like I couldn't get enough light. I'm turning the lights on.
We got spotlights everywhere.
We got stuff
trying to make
lights,
it look
trying
like
to make
it's
it
good.
look, make it look halfway decent. And I just said this just does not make sense. So what the deal was on my laptop, I have an MacBook. So on computers, laptop, and MacBooks, you can turn your screen down. So if you're in bed, you can turn it where it's kind of dark. Mine was almost completely dark.
We have been working on lighting for about 40 minutes.
About 40 minutes just to get some decent lighting so because we couldn't see.
Only because he had the screen completely down. That's what my eyes are watering. We've been in here crying. And he says, wait a minute, let me see something. And then he turns it up because we had one of our other producers up here. And he's like, oh, it looks fine. And we're like, really?
We couldn't understand why. Like, why are you saying it looks fine and it looks dark to us? But it was my screen. So that's my fault. That's my fault. Anyway, hey, everybody. My name is Houston Vines of Insight TV, helping to produce Keeping It 100 with Ursula Banks. Tell them a little bit about you.
So when we do our Keeping It 100 show, we talk about any and everything. But because it's on the radio, we do have to kind of limit some of the things we talk about. After Dark is a little bit different.
A little bit different. We can talk about things that we really don't want to talk about on the radio show. Okay? This is true. Because when it's on the radio show, you got to be careful because one, certain music you can't play, certain subjects we can't talk about. Not that we really want to get into any crazy deep subjects, but sometimes we just want to cut up for a while, and sometimes we just want to do a half-hour show.
Yeah.
With the radio station, we're pretty much locked into the fact we need to make sure we do a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do now, we have our own studio location. We're going to be looking at shooting more shows, having some fun. We're going to have some guests come in.
Yeah.
And we're going to sit around and just have open conversation about a variety of things. And
if you have anything that you want us to discuss, hit us up on Facebook, send it to our messenger, whatever, and let us know what you want to talk about, and we'll definitely bring those subjects up. Just know we're gonna keep it 100, whatever we're talking about.
Right. So one of the things we're gonna talk about, and it's not in the title. The title just says, "Let's talk about crazy moments." I thought that the title that I put in was gonna pop in. I didn't realize it was gonna take the subtitle. But one of the things that we're gonna talk about, guys, is and some of you may not know anything about this whole drizzle, drizzle, and sprinkle thing going on. Now, I know we older, so we might not even be trying to pay attention to a lot of this stuff that's going on. So, Ursula, I'm going to let you get into it, or you want me to get into it a little bit?
Well, okay, so I'm going to say what started it, and then you can pick up where Drizzle Drizzle started. Okay, so there was a lady that was talking about how, men are complaining, broke men are complaining about having to pay for this, pay for that, and calling them broke and saying, basically they're not making it rain, they're making it drizzle. They're making it sprinkle. They don't have any money. And so we all know the women who think that, I think the most viral story started with the woman who clowned the gentleman for taking her to the Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory, right. Right.
You know,
Right.
and they started complaining about these, you know, taking me here for a date and things like that on a first date, as a matter of fact. And so it has really, the attitude of some of these women have gone beyond since then. And so with that, men have gotten fed up with the foolishness, and then they came up with
Drizzle Drizzle. The whole Drizzle Drizzle, I didn't understand what was going on, but some of the guys were saying, you know, I want a soft life. They saying they're looking for a woman that makes great money, a woman that can, you know, take care of taking them out to eat and taking care of the home as well, you know, buy them some sneakers from time to time. Someone that may be able to say, hey, you know, give them a call and just give them $200-300 to go shopping, go get some things they need from Harbor Freight, stuff he needs for his truck. A lot of the men are saying that they want that same thing. So we want to have a conversation about it. We want you guys to tune in. Tell us if you heard about Drizzle Drizzle and Sprinkle Sprinkle and what's your thoughts. Because the dating game, from my understanding, you know, the dating game is an issue. I don't have to worry about that. I got something nice at the house.
Don't start that bragging.
You know, I
don't start that bragging.
At the house, so I'm good.
No.
But I don't know if you had a chance to go out and date or whatever. You're gonna talk about that, or we're gonna stick with Drizzle Drizzle? Because what's your opinion about the whole dating situation that's going on this now?
First of all, I will say this. Excuse me, and I get some flack from the men for this, but this is what you call chickens coming home to roost. What started this whole entire foolishness was you guys liking Instagram models.
See, now I'm not even gonna let you go. I'm not gonna let you blame guys from the get-go. I asked you about your Drizzle Drizzle, how you feel about the Drizzle Drizzle and the Sprinkle Sprinkle. And first thing you want to do is say men caused this issue.
They did. They caused it by thinking that all these women they were liking on Instagram, that became the standard for what men wanted, what men desired. Look, you got my throat. I've been sitting here laughing so long. Okay, but now, and I know Maurice might be listening, but this is what you get when you got men who listen to Kevin Samuels.
See, here you go.
This is the type of woman that you need. You need a young woman. You know, she needs to look like this, and you know that's the desirable standard for men, acceptable for men that make a certain amount of income. Okay, in doing that, this is what you created, because those women feel like if I'm this age, if I look like this. This is all I need for a man that makes this figure to take care of me.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see where you're going with it, and you're completely wrong. Here's the deal. What Kevin was talking about, women were calling his show, asking him, what do I need to do to get a high value man? They called him. And now, first of all, before he did that, he was talking to men first. He was talking to men for years, and you made a comment one day he should have sticking with them, talking to the men. He was talking to the men first to let them know you need to be this caliber man. If you want to date a woman that thinks a lot of herself, got herself together, you need to have your stuff together. So she's interested in you.
Well,
so that's what he was telling the men. Go, you cannot be staying at your mama's house on the couch or in a spare bedroom, and you in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, but you want to go out and find this kind of strong looking, you know, beautiful woman, carry herself well, and you have no place to carry her to. So where the women got it mixed up, when they called in, he said, some of you ladies are not going to get that kind of man because you don't qualify for that kind of man. Now that's where all the slack came in, because they're like, well, who are you to say who qualified for what?
Okay, but now that you mentioned the word qualified, he named qualifications, that how they must look, their age, and what they got to bring, what they should bring to the table.
Okay.
Now you gave them this formula, and they checked these boxes. They said, okay, well, I qualify. So now that's why they're looking for these high dollar men. They don't even have a job, but they're looking for these high dollar men because now they've met all these quotas that Kevin Samuels said, right? Now what? Now the men who were looking for this advice from Kevin Samuels, which he gave them advice, they gave the women advice, and now the women that he gave this advice to are now stepping up, searching for these men, but now they don't want that.
Right. And where the problem come in, what Kevin was trying to tell them is everybody's not going to get this high dollar type of man. The small numbers, everybody's not going to get that. But there are men that work for you on the same level that you're on. He might be making a little bit more than you. And you guys can have a happy life together. You can grow together. But some of the women in this sprinkle age, no matter what, they feel like they're supposed to have a man that make $100,000 a year.
But those are gold diggers.
Well, but
wait. But Kevin Samuels told them that they had to shovel to look for this gold.
Right, he did.
These men, he told them what minefield to go to. And these men can't complain if that's what you're looking for. If you want a woman who looks like this, does this, she got all these physical qualifications, age qualifications, then you can't get mad if that is what she says that she's looking for.
Right, but here's the
thing.
You
want all of these things, but then you want her to be wholesome and sweet and loving and nurturing. It don't work that way.
But that's not what they were bringing. See, you can't think just because you got this body and your youth that you can have a nasty attitude and a man of value. Now he said this: a man of value isn't necessarily all about money. He was saying a man of value. He listed certain things. He listed it needs to be someone that's doing great things in the community. He needs to be someone that other men admire, and he needs to be someone that can handle the household, take care of things, and the whole nine. So if he has these things, and he has to make sure he carries himself well and look decent. So if he has these things, he worked hard to get these things so he can get the type of person that he wants. And that doesn't mean that he's going to get that either. But you can tell me, I can tell you all the time, you see men that have, I'll say he might be a lawyer, he might be an engineer, he might be this, that, and the other, have his own business, and he's making great money. And he's not that good looking.
No.
But he has women that he can go out with, good looking women. Yeah. Because he has this caliber of what most women are looking for. So he's saying if that man has that kind of caliber that he can pick and choose, if you want to be in the picking, there's certain things that he's going to be looking for because he's built himself at this level that he wants this type of person. Not everybody, but that's what most men are going to be looking for. If a man is making $200,000 a year, he's not going to be most of the time. He has a certain thing that he's kind of looking for, certain kind of woman he's looking for. One, he wants someone that he can take with him to an event because he's going to be doing corporate events and the whole nine.
So you're saying that a woman who is not making $50,000 to $80,000 a year is not in a caliber of a woman that he can take to these events.
No, that's a total opposite of that because he would take a woman that works at McDonald's to an event if she looks, carry herself the way that he's looking for, if she do certain things that he enjoy, treat him and make him feel special, he would take a lady from McDonald's that he met and take her to that gala because he would go get her hair done because he can, her makeup done, and if she knows how to hold a conversation in those kind of environments that he's comfortable with, he would take her. He would take her. It had nothing to do with her money because 90% of the time, men admit this. We don't ever see y'all money anyway. Most of the time, we're not gonna see. We don't see your money. Yeah, you might take like phone bill, light bill, cable, or whatever the case may be. Not all relationships, but a lot of times, whatever money you make is taking. You really want to use it for what you want to use it for, and then the house bills. If he's making that kind of money, you want him to cover all of this. So even if you're making almost the same amount, most of the time we don't ever see that hit the bank account.
Well, and see, I'm gonna say,
Okay.
just me.
But see, there you go. Then once you start saying just me, you don't look at the majority of how a lot of people think, men and women alike. I can only speak for me.
But I'm talking about women who I know, that I associate with. Okay.
Okay.
We pay bills.
Right.
If the man is paying the mortgage and, extra on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
then of course I'm going to take care of like cell phone bills, the kids' cell phone bills,
Mm-hmm.
The house needs supplies, the house,
Right.
cleaning, cleaning solutions
Right.
and different things like that.
Right.
You do spend your money on the household.
Right.
Now, do I take and he spend 2/3 of his check on the house and then I bank my money?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think we had this conversation a long time ago.
Right.
Where, I think that once the bills are paid and money is put into the savings account,
mm-hmm.
anything that's left over
mm-hmm.
should be split.
Say that again. Hold on now. Say that again. So you're saying that once the bills are paid and then you have a lump sum that you put in savings and then you got extra money, that money should be split.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. If I only have 500
right.
that I'm bringing to the table and he's got 2,500
right.
left, should I get half of that? No.
Right. I know. Look, I get what you're saying. I'm not going to say Kevin because it wasn't just Kevin. What Kevin was doing, I like some of the stuff he said and some stuff I threw out the window, like you said, with the bathwater. What Kevin was saying was there are men out here. We're going to go with the men first. There are men out here that are making $200,000, $300,000 a year, $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year. That they would like to have a certain type of person. When they're making that kind of money, they want to come home to something peaceful. They want to come home and just be able to enjoy home.
Mm-hmm.
They're not looking for someone that's stuck on themselves. They're not looking for someone that feel like they got to be taken somewhere all the time. That's not what he's looking for. And some women are looking just for that. They want to have enjoyment all the time. When it gets boring to them, a lot of times, man, they bored the relationship. A man that's making that kind of money, a lot of times he's going to be bored because he goes to work, he's doing accounting work, he's doing this, there, the other. When he comes home, he wants to relax. Peace. He wants peace. Mm-hmm. He wants to relax. So what Kevin was talking to, some of the women that were calling in saying what they wanted, they were like, tell me what do I need to change to get a high value man? That's exactly words. And we'll play some of the shows. What do I need to do? Because they want to make a change in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, okay, well, why do you want a high value man? Most of them could answer the question. So he would get to the bottom line. So basically what you're saying, you want access to his money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want access to his money, you have to give him what he's looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And what he may be looking for is peace, someone to cook, or if he's got a maid, hey, you're going to treat the maid well. He wants somebody to be home and raise his kids. And then some people that are getting that, they're like, well, I ain't trying to be no slave. But that's what this man wants.
But you want you want him to slave to make this money to take care of you, though.
There's a lot of people that think that way, even if the man is making $30,000 a year.
True.
A man could be out here doing construction and bringing home money, paying the bills. And I'm not saying all the bills, but he's being a regular guy, doing construction, working pharmaceutical like I do, doing marketing like I do, and could be a normal guy working to get to a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some people certain women that you start to date them and they want you to cover your bills and their bills.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, they're like, well, what kind of man are you? You broke, but you can't even pay your own bills.
Like the woman who, there was a video of a woman who called her boyfriend, so to speak, and said, hey, I need some lunch money. Remember that one?
Yes.
And he sent her $30.
$30.
And she gets on social media and drags him for filth.
Yeah.
Because she says, I can't get my nails done for $30. I can't go get my hair done for $30. Mm-hmm. You didn't ask for any of that. You said you wanted lunch.
Right. Right.
And I'm sorry, but even going to the Cheesecake Factory, you can get a lunch for $30.
Right.
So I think, and again, I believe social media allowed these women to become these monsters that men are now regretting. These Instagram models.
Well,
but this whole drizzle moment.
Okay.
The soft guy era.
Okay.
I think they went about it the wrong way because they're saying they want women to take care of them.
Right.
Which in this society kind of makes you look a little weak.
Right.
Okay. So what you should have said was, okay, you want us to, you don't want the sprinkle. You want us to take care of everything.
Right.
So what I need you to do, and this is what I think men should have told women. This is from a woman. I want my house cleaned, my clothes laundered and folded and ironed. I need my kids in school. I need their homework done. I need their clothes. I need them to look presentable when they go out somewhere.
Right.
When I walk in the door, I want my dinner on the table. I need you to clean the kitchen up. And then at the end of the night, I need you to take care of me how and when I want you to take care of me. That is what they should have said. But women would have had a coronary.
Okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, they would have had a coronary. They would have had a fit because they're like, I'm not trying to do all that. And I understand that. If you don't want to do all that, that's fine. If that's what you don't want to do. So that means if that's what this particular man is asking for, you're not for him.
You're not for him.
And if you realize every other man that is making that kind of money and they're asking for something that you don't want to do, that means that's not the lifestyle you want. There are some women that are with men that are making this kind of money. Sometimes, matter of fact, I'm going to give you an example of one. I'll see if I can find it so we can do it for the next show. And he chose this particular woman because this is what he wanted. And she showed all that. Soon as they got married, within 3 months, the real her came out. And he was like, this is not what we agreed upon.
That's we need a prenup.
That's what, this is not.
And I'm all for those.
Right. This is not what we agreed upon. So she flipped the script. Now I'll say this too. I think sometimes men do the same thing. I think sometimes men present themselves in a certain way, and then they get married, or once they start sleeping with you, and y'all doing the do for a while. Now he's like, I'm good with it. He started changing up. That happens a lot too. But now here's the thing with the drizzle. Well, the whole drizzle, the guys will tell you it's all a joke.
Yeah, they were trolling.
They were trolling because all they were trying to do was let women see. Now I said the exact same thing you said, but because I'm a man, there's a problem. So that means it was a problem from the get-go, because if you want equal rights, you shouldn't want to say that a man has to do all this for you and he's not married to you.
Hey, wait, because who's going to do all that? You're not married to him. I missed that part.
Well, I mean, I've seen where some women have asked a guy to cash app her some money before they go out on a date, because I need to get my nails done, I need a babysitter, I need this, that, and the other. And he's like, I'm trying to get to know you. I ain't got nothing to do with that stuff. Now,
paying for my babysitter, I'm not with that. So
to me, if I want to cover something because I really want to take you out, that's one thing. But paying to get your hair done and get your nails done before we go out on a date.
Before I take you on
a date, and it's not like we've been dating on a regular, and this is something you want to get done for your birthday or a special event. That's a little different. But we don't even know each other. I just walked up to you and said, "Oh my gosh, I think you're pretty. What's your name?" And I asked you some questions, and we, you know what? Let me take you out to eat. Let's just go out to eat so we can have a conversation and talk. And she's like, "Well, I don't want to waste my time. So if you cash at me $150, we might can go out on a date because I'm gonna go get my hair done, this, that, and the other."
And suppose she decides to go out with somebody else.
That has happened. All right, I see we've got someone that has chimed in. Now, if you are there, I actually put in a link in the comment link. I put a link so you can actually join the show. So if you want to join the show, you definitely can. I've got someone now we're going to bring up on the screen. We have John Ivy in the building.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
what's going on, John?
All right. I just hopped back up here to see what you guys were up to. See, it's a good discussion so far.
It's some bull
It
jive.
ain't no bull jive. We're just talking about what men are looking for.
Men could have shut that down if they had, instead of trying to troll and make them see how stupid they look, they should have gave them the option. Okay, well, you know what? I don't mind taking care of you. I don't mind paying the bills, paying everything in the house, and you being a stay-at-home, whatever. However, the same way you require me to pay all the bills, I now require you to do all of these things. Now, if you can't do all of these things, then there's a problem.
Well, there's already a problem because a lot of women have said they're not doing all that.
Well, they can't. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, that's what they're saying, though. They're saying just because I am a woman and I've got this between my thighs that men want is gold, and you should be able. I should be able to get whatever I want. No, and that's what some people think.
Men, you need to then alter what you deem a high value woman, because evidently what you're looking for is a Barbie in a plastic box. And the last time I checked, Barbie can't do nothing but stand up there, and you got to move her arms and legs for her.
Well, I mean, I look, men since the beginning of time, men have always went after what they wanted.
Catered. Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
They went out what they wanted. Back in the day, of course, we're not back in the day when they would just find a woman and they would get 2 goats and a ham and something else, and they would ask the dad for the hand in marriage, and that was it. That was the transaction. And
but that woman also, but in that transaction, that woman did what? She still stayed at home.
Right.
She took care of the kids.
Right.
She educated the kids.
Right.
She took care of the household. She made sure dinner was ready. But now they want something for nothing.
Right.
And being a woman, I think, is absolutely asinine to think that because you have a pretty face, and people understand pretty fades over time.
Well, here's the thing, John. I'm gonna let you jump in a second, but let me
go ahead. I'm listening, man.
Let me say this. I'm gonna look dead in the camera.
I'm listening.
Even the ones without a pretty face and body still think they're supposed to get.
That's true.
Everything that they desire.
That's true. Are we blinking?
Yeah, that light's blinking. I don't know what the deal is. So they think they're supposed
nobody wants to.
I don't understand that. You tell me what you think, John.
You just listen to
I don't know what happened. What happened to like getting to know people, their personality, falling in love? How do they skip the conversation and all that to go straight to finance? You don't even know if you like the person or not. And you worried about if you got a Benz or the man worried about just how her butt and body look, and he don't even know what type of person she is. It's ridiculous.
It's the whole Instagram era. It was the Instagram era when they started. Everybody went after these Instagram models, and they don't get me wrong. I have no problem with this person or whatever, but she's a prime example. Kim Kardashian. She came into the spotlight because of the sex tape. Right. And then she bounced from person to person to person to person. And even with everything that she's done, the type of person she was proven to be, she was still considered a high value woman.
By who?
By society, because of her looks, her body, and it just kept perpetuating the same cycle.
Right.
And even in today's society, if you look a certain way, if your hair looks a certain way, and your body looks a certain way, you're automatically deemed high value. And a lot of these rappers, they'll go to, it could be a stripper or a bottle girl at the club. And that woman really has a better chance of getting a man with money because of their physical features than a real woman.
This is true.
So whose fault is it really?
I think that
who are gold diggers. It's theirs.
But
I think those those
Go ahead.
type of men, who like those type of women, are they really? Would you really call them men? They're kind of like young boys. That's stuff like you do when you're a young kid. We like to go to
Yeah.
strip clubs and fascinated with women. Like after you've been
Right.
through some stuff, like no, any slightest bit of experience, you get mature. So the guys that like that type of stuff, is that the guy you really want, or the woman that
Exactly.
only,
Well,
you know?
you're right. I know you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But men, even as they get older, they will still play with toys.
Mm-hmm.
They consider those women toys. If you're making $50,000 a month, you have no problem going to the club and spending $2,000 that night because you're making $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having 50. What? Say what, John?
I don't know what you buy. You said $2,000 in one night. You said,
Yeah.
That's one bottle, really.
whew.
Well, I mean, what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying
that's
is
like
this.
depending on you drinking Louis the 13th, giving people shots or popping champagne. I'm sorry. I mean, but there's some restaurants that even cost like way more than that too. I understand what you said.
Yeah. I'm just using that figure, just
Mhm.
saying that hey, if you go to a strip club and this guy's making $50,000 a month, $2,000 isn't anything to him.
Yeah.
You know, so if he meets
But that
someone,
depends on his profession. I think.
go ahead.
I say I believe that depends on his profession. I think the guys, really educated guys who make a lot of money, man. I don't think they're really looking for them type of. I just don't think they
I don't
are.
think they agree
I
with
don't think
those.
they might like that. They're not looking
Yeah.
for it now. If it's like a dude that got a lot of hustles going on, he got laundromats, he always flashy, and I mean that's a different type of money too. It's a different type of person. Them the
Right.
dudes
But
that's gonna be, or you got the same dudes that just because they have money, they believe that, and they never really maybe had women when they were younger. Maybe they were
yeah.
late, and they think now I got this money, I'm gonna buy me some women, I'm gonna buy me some attention. Those guys, they lack maturity too because there's only a matter of time before they find out, bro, it ain't what you think it is.
Look,
I
but here's
mean,
the
you
thing.
buying a whole lot of headache when you get fast women that only want money. So again, it only comes like to maturity, and I think like-minded people attract like-minded people. Really,
Well, look, I mean, I
the
get what you're
problem
saying.
come in when you want so you think you're a certain way and you really not.
Right.
That's
But
just
look,
my two
here's the thing.
cents, man.
No. But here's the thing. The reason why I'm using the analogy of a man that's making $50,000 a year, I'm using like something when she kept mentioning these athletes and these rappers going to the club, spending these money on these strippers. $2,000 is if I have $50 and I go to the club and spend $2 of it, ain't no big deal.
No big deal.
So $50,000 and then spent 2,000 at the club is no big deal.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting at. It's not that big of a deal to them. And then they realize, well, I came in here and spent $2,000, and next month I'm gonna do the same thing. Now she see me being flashy. Now I just want to holler at her anyway. They'll spend $2,000 to get her to come back to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So some men do that, but the
Wow,
average man won't do that. So now you got the average woman thinking that she can get that same kind. Some of these average women are going to the hotel trying to get up with an NBA player or NFL player,
Mm-hmm.
trying to pull a lawyer,
'Cause they
trying to
want
do this and the
money.
other, but they don't even have what the man is looking for. Now, I'm not saying he's
But
not going to sleep with her.
he's looking for something at that moment.
I see what Houston's talking about.
And that
I
is
see what you're talking about.
and that's what traps him into a lifelong commitment, because you're messing with somebody, one, that you have no desire to have any kind of relationship with. It's just a one night stand.
Right.
And then you end up she gets pregnant or whatever, and now you're tied to this person, Drea Michelle.
Right.
This boy was
Can somebody
20
explain this value system to me?
Well,
I
it's
don't
not a value.
understand this high value, low value stuff. I don't get it.
Well, I mean, look,
that came from y'all boy Kevin Samuels. That's that whole high dollar value thing.
If you go back and look at when he explains it and breaks it down, he explains what it is. He's saying, look, a man that he said, I'll take a man that if he goes out, get a degree or starts a business and he's making a couple $100,000 a year on a consistent basis, and he's a pillar of the community. He's doing stuff, in the community, either helping to grow the community or doing different things. He may be a member of his church, kind of doing certain things. He's considered a high caliber man because he can maintain his income and he can take care of his family if that's what he wants to do to be married. So women were calling in saying, how do I get that type of man? I want a man that don't mind me staying at home. I want a man that can take care of all the bills and I can have a nice car and maybe just have a couple of his kids and live a happy, soft life.
But they were calling in trying to get advice on how to use a man.
Well, that might be what you call it. What they called it was, I'm trying to find a husband to take care of me for the rest of my life, or a man that I like and I want. This is what they were looking for.
They were looking for someone that they could use their money for their benefit. I know men who make $50,000 a year that take care of their whole entire family.
Yeah, I get that too. But that's something else too that Kevin was saying is a lot of women. He said there's a lot of great men out here that make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Will treat you well. You'll have a nice house. You might drive a Corolla. You might have a Honda Civic or Honda Accord, but he's going to have you living decently. But a lot of the women that were calling in is like, no, that ain't what I want. I want a man, that makes $100,000 a year or better. But then they were Dollar General. And he's like, well, how is that going to work? Why would he want to be with you? Not because you work at Dollar General. He's just saying, but you're not doing anything to bring value to him.
Exactly.
So that's what he was kind of getting at. Now he was very tough on women. He was tough on men too, but people look at it differently because when you get tough with a woman, it look like you being misogynistic, if that's the right word. You being a bully. You don't like women. You all this stuff, and I don't think that was the case. He said the reason why he would say some of the things that he said is because other people, he would ask him, he said, well, has anybody told you certain things like this before he got rough? And they were like, yeah, but I know my worth. And he said, well, explain your worth to me. Now, there's nothing wrong with this, but these are examples that he would give or people would tell him. He said, okay, how old are you? I'm 35. Okay. You 35. You have any kids? Yeah, I got 3 kids. Okay. You ever been married? Nope, I've never been married, but I still want a high value man. He said, okay. So a man that's making $200,000 a year or $250,000 a year, and you have 3 kids, not by a man you were married to, but by 2 or 3 different fathers, he doesn't want that headache. He doesn't want that headache. So he's not looking for you. Not saying that it won't happen to you or one of your friends, but if it's a room of 50 people, 50 women, and all of them are about equal as far as this, that, and the other, everybody's the same. Yeah. He's not looking for that. So that's what he was trying to explain. He said, but there's a man in that room that's making 80 or 90,000 that would take you and your 3 kids and treat you very well. And that ain't what they wanted. So that's where this whole drizzle, drizzle, and sprinkle came from. Because men start just reversing.
The same old.
Yeah, the same old thing. So, and a lot of times women would come up there and go, well, I know a lady that she's married to a high value man and he takes care of all the bills and this, that, and the other. And yeah, she might be 5'6", 250. And then like, so they see that and they go, well, see, it can happen. And he's like, I never said it couldn't happen. But if you have a room full of women, that's not who he's going to pick if he's making that kind of money. And that's what upsets people.
Well, and I think a lot of times women can't help but compare themselves to other women. Oh, well, why does he want her? Because she looks like this, but I look like this. But that in itself shows, that there is something, that she has or that she was showing that you didn't. And it could just be your attitude.
A lot of times it is the attitude, because if a man makes a mistake or do something foolish, he know he's gonna have to deal with consequences.
Mhm.
Now it's just how you go about it. Now, if you come at him, I done told you about this mess, and you ready to fight him, and you ready to go off. The average man that makes good money, he's not gonna want to deal with that
Not
because
at all. Not at
because
all.
one, he don't need you coming to his job, starting any issues. Two, he can't be worried about the fight that he had with you when he's at work all day long. He doesn't want that.
A lot of times you have these men who end up, if they do have these women that they assumed in the beginning were high dollar, high value women, end up with their secretaries or their a intern in the office because they get a chance to, like you said earlier, Jonathan, they get a chance to know this person. They become friends. They hear about their life and they know this person, kind of inside and out. And then that's the person they end up falling for. But you look at it like, okay, well, she doesn't look as good as I do. She doesn't do for you the things that I do for you. So why is this woman? Because she showed value. She showed her value in other ways.
Right.
She didn't rely on the bedroom.
Right.
Or her mirror image.
Now, sometimes these men that are loaded with money, you see them with someone that is just bedroom action.
Oh yeah.
But now he might still take her to the company event or take her to certain places because it's a trophy. It's a certain look.
Okay. But I will tell you this. Most of those women are on the come up.
Okay.
Because if you are a top lawyer at a law firm and you're making, you might be making $500,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm with you and I'm on your arm. If that's what I'm looking for, then we go to this event and I see Jonathan, who's your boss, who's making $2 million a year, and he gives me that look, and I think that I can level up. The average woman who's looking for that man that makes this money to take care of her is going to do what? Jump ship.
But
that's why.
What people don't realize is always going to be somebody better. Always.
Exactly.
There's going to be somebody nicer looking, somebody with more money, somebody skinnier, somebody thicker. Yeah. I mean, that's just, this whole conversation is crazy. Not y'all conversation, but the whole drizzle, drip, drip. Right. It's ridiculous. It seems like the conversation that children have about dating and not real life. And I think that's the underlying problem, man. That it ain't no mature people out here no more, man. It ain't like no old school, old fashioned people.
There are some, but a majority of them. One, I hear a lot of young guys now saying that I'm not dating nobody. I don't care to date nobody. I'm good. And I never thought I would see that in my lifetime. Because when you young, 21, 18 to 30, you want to go out and we used to be able to go to the mall and shoot. We would have little cards with our phone number on it.
Yep.
It might be handwritten, but we would have this paper card and stuff. And I see somebody I really want to talk to. Hey, excuse me. What's your name? All right, look, do me a favor. I would love to talk to you more. Here's my number. You don't see that anymore because one,
they don't call no more.
Well, one, they don't call. Two, if a man does that now, first thing, some of these girls, I've seen them do it. The guy go up to speak to him oh no, he too needy. He doing too much.
He thirsty.
That's the term.
Yeah.
He thirsty. Now they breaking out their phone and to my, y'all, look at this man. Asking me for my phone number. And look what he got. Look at them shoes he got on. Them Nikes he got on.
But they don't know that when they do that, what they think is bringing down somebody else's value or talking about somebody else just shows people how ugly they are.
Well, we get it because we're older. We get it because we're older. These folks now, they're not getting it. I think the whole drizzle and sprinkle have opened the eyes of some people.
Yeah.
Because there are now here some women that are saying, okay, it really sounds stupid. When men talk about that he wants the soft life now, he wants somebody to take him out to dinner And after about a couple of months, he want her to take over his
That's
car
crazy.
payment. You know, he's saying, I want a woman to take over my
That's
car payment.
ridiculous.
If you date for a couple of months, you know, she ought to be able to take care of my car payment. Now, John, before you say that's ridiculous, you see what he was doing. All they were doing was trying to let
Look.
women see how it sound coming out of their mouth. Because there are some women that say that if you've been dating a guy 3-4 months, now he needed help pay on the rent. But he's like, y'all only been dating for a few months.
And I don't even
I
live
think
there.
they could have chose a different way to do it, though. I mean, that just seems so. I mean, it just seems so. I wouldn't look. I don't care how much money I'm making, and she know whatever, or she making whatever. I'm still, as a man, I'm still gonna try to provide. Like, we go out to eat, I want to pay. We do anything, I want to do it. I want to be a provider. So
Right.
I don't understand where these new age men coming from that don't want to be providers for women anyway. Now, you don't want no gold digger. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But what man want to? I mean, just want to go out and have
Right.
your girl pay for it? That don't even seem like a manly thing to do, though.
Well,
I'm
here's
just
the thing,
me.
John.
I'm just.
But John, no, I follow what you're saying, but the guys, they're not really saying they don't want that. They're saying, I really don't want that. I'm saying it so women can see what it sounds like.
Yeah.
You know,
They
the
don't
guys are
care.
like, yeah, they're like, I mean, what are the chances of me getting a woman to do that? They just trying to let women see. That's really foolish sound.
I think
You
the
know,
women won
now,
that battle.
right,
They won
you
that
know,
one already.
because see, here's the thing too. They're saying that I want to take you out to dinner. And you just said it. You don't mind paying for dinner, right? You don't mind taking a woman out for dinner and doing certain things. But if you say, hey, I would love to take you out to eat, and you got in your mind that, okay, I'm going to put $150 to the side to make sure I got everything covered. But then the restaurant she wants you to take her to is going to be $250. That ain't even
Drinks.
drinks. You know, you can go to certain restaurants here in Raleigh,
No, we talk
and
about dating, right? We're talking about dating.
but that's what these women are asking for on the first date.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say this. Men, for any man that's looking to take a woman on a date, first of all, you pick the place because you know your pocket.
Thank you.
That's number one. You pick
That's
the place.
usually what you do, and the women respect that.
Yeah, if she's not happy with the place that you picked, then maybe you need to cancel the date and just go find somebody else.
And
That's a
what,
red flag.
Or you won't never see her again.
Yes.
But if you, as a man, you're supposed to lead. Like, most of the time, hey, I know this great place over here or this spot over here, blah blah. Most of the time, women want men to lead anyway, right? So it's like,
look, that is
at
true.
what point is you getting a woman telling you, hey, can you take me to such and such? We ain't going nowhere. If I invite you to dinner,
and that's why
and
they're
you
not.
know we not talked and everything already, and you know how I get down. You going where I'm taking you.
I'll say this. When
go ahead.
Look, James and I, we co-parent very well. Okay. And we try to keep our friendship together. Right. And he'll say, hey, what are you doing tonight? Nothing. What's going on? Okay. Be ready at 7. I'm like, what we doing? Just be ready at 7. That's all he tells me.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pick me up. And we've been to a lot of different expensive places in Raleigh to eat. Sullivan's being one of them.
Okay.
And I'm very money conscious when it comes to anybody spending money on me. Right? Mm-hmm. Even when I got money, I'll go shopping for myself and come home with nothing but stuff for the kids.
But see that.
So, but wait a minute, what? But that's the thing, though. When we go to these restaurants, I'm like, we could have went to steakhouse and got another steakhouse,
right.
And we got something a lot more cheap. But he chose what he was wanting to spend.
Right.
I was okay with whatever he decided to do. I'm not one of those women who have to be in these high dollar restaurants. But if he says, what do you want to eat? And I say, oh, okay, I want to go to Conkeys or whatever, And he's like, okay, I'll pick you up.
I love Conkeys.
When a man asks you where you want to go, he has the money, okay, to just about afford any place in that city.
Mm-hmm.
If he says, I'm going to take you to this place, if she's not happy with that, that's a big red flag for me.
So y'all missing the point.
What?
Y'all missing the
I don't
point.
think so. I don't know. I think if I ask you to go somewhere, like if we're gonna go on a date, hey, you want to go on a date, whatever. But I know this spot I'm gonna take you to. Okay, yeah, boom, boom, we go there. You like it, you don't, you don't. It's like then the next time maybe around, well, we don't go back there anymore. But there's ways to do it where you can find out if a woman to go there before you even go on a date.
Well, that's what the
So
guys are
dudes are
saying.
just asking for it. If you want to, why are you on a date with a woman that wants a $400-500 plate? Why are you even getting ready to get that far?
But wait,
you're missing the point. That's what the guys are saying. They're not taking these women on dates. And now what the women are saying, because the men aren't taking them to these places, are y'all broke. Y'all just broke.
Okay, we'll be broke.
That's the thing. They're just saying y'all broke, y'all broke. They've been talking about men.
Be that.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be that too, because I'd rather have my money and go do what I want to do with it, and take who I want to take out that will enjoy.
It was a nice conversation with y'all. I got to get going, man. But thanks for having me up here, though.
All right, later.
Bye. But what we're saying, I mean, and women, I'm not sure. Social media has steered a lot of these women astray.
Right.
Thinking about what they need or what they have to have a successful relationship. Okay. I've been to dates to Snoopy's, the hot dog place, because you get to know people. Right. I've been on dates because you get to talk and have conversation. There is nothing for, back in the day, a drive-in movie. Because I'm getting to know you. I'm not spending my wealth. I would expect the man to spend his wealth on me if I'm not somebody that he's going to be investing a future with.
But see, that's the whole conversation of tonight. You think that way, but there are a ton of people that do not think that way. That's why we was talking about that whole drizzle drizzle thing. People have to understand, y'all got to change up the way that you do stuff. If you're a female and you think a man needs to take you to an expensive restaurant the first time y'all go out on a date, not saying that he may not want to go do that, but because he's not taking you to that expensive place, you don't want to go. Now some women have gotten to the point where they saying, no, I'm not meeting you at the coffee shop. You need to take me to dinner. And I get that too. But if he's just trying to get to know you, there's no reason why you guys cannot meet at a coffee shop
have a
conversation and see if you're interested, because he may be like, oh man, I do like her. So let me take you to dinner. Now he may spend a little bit more on dinner than he would have if you
it's the first time. Exactly.
Right? Because he's getting to know you. Now, this thing too that gets me is, and I'm gonna talk about men too. This thing too that gets me is what I call, I don't know what the term is, but if you're a female, same for male, but if you're female and you going out on 3 to 4 days a week, you really just trying to get fed. Because now there's no reason for you to be going out on 3 or 4 dates a week with different men or the same men, but you got them in rotation. At some point in time, that's gonna get old.
There's always, if
men are doing it, I've known same thing, but I've known some men to do this, that they had someone on Monday that they would take out to dinner and have a great time and not sleep with them. They say that they got somebody else on Wednesday, take a break on Tuesday, but they got somebody on Wednesday, they might take them to, or Tuesday, take them to Taco Tuesday because they've been hanging out for a while. And then on Friday, the new chick that they met at an event, they take that chick out on Friday and have a good time. And the guy would be like, you know what? This starting to get expensive because I'm doing too much. I got to pump my brakes.
But then he'll turn around and use the one that he thinks is going to put out first is the one that's going to get the most conversation, the most attention.
But that's what a man's going to do. He's going to spend more. I'm just telling you, a man's going to spend his attention or spend more time where he think he's going to get more bang for his buck.
Sure.
Now, I'm not saying bang for his buck means to actually get some from you, but the one he can enjoy the conversation more, someone he can have a good time with. Kevin said this, and a lot of other people said this too. See that look on his face? Kevin said this, and I think it's true. Do not accept a date from a man unless you find him sexually attractive or interesting enough from the get-go.
True.
Because there's no need for you. You're like, oh, I ain't find him attractive at all. But he want to take me to Conky or whatever. What's Crystal? What's the place that nice restaurant in Greenville? I mean, not Greenville, but in Raleigh.
There's Ruth Chris.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So because he said, look, I would love to take you out on the dinner. You know, do you like Ruth Chris? Or where'd you like to go? And then you say, I like Ruth Chris. He's like, okay, all right, I can do that. I can take you to Ruth Chris. But you know, without a doubt, he ain't gonna get none. Yeah. Not saying that night, but you can't even picture give him any. Why are you even going out with this man?
Exactly.
Now,
because you want a meal. That's what.
Right.
That's what.
But now I have seen some women say that, hey, I didn't find him interesting, but I did go out with him. And after 2 or 3 days, I really saw that he, you know, I kind of feeling this guy. That's different. That does happen from time to time. But a lot of people aren't doing that.
If you know without a shadow of a doubt that this person is not for you, there's no kind of attraction, and there's never gonna be, then it's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
I don't think I've ever went out on once, but other than that, I've never went out on a date with somebody who I was not sexually attracted to.
That's true. I mean, I get it. I
don't see that. I don't see the purpose.
But now I have seen this, and I have done it. I've gone out with someone that I didn't see them in that way. We were just going as friends to have a great time. And then as time went on, I was like,
conversation sparked a little bit.
I said, oh, okay.
You got some things in common.
Or we happen to be in the same environment. I never looked at them that way, but then we started to have a conversation, and I'm like, I find that interesting. So that happens as well. But I think where the problem is coming in with relationships now is it's all about what you can do for me. And it's it's all about what you can do for me. And I've had some friends that say that. They were like, look, I'm looking for this kind of guy, this type. If you 5'7" and a man, some women ain't even interested. He might be a good dude, take care of his responsibilities. He might be sitting on 401k that's stacked, and he might have some money put away and got his own house. But he 5'7". You won't even get the dude a chance.
Let me tell you something. I used to be all about, okay, a guy has to be taller than me, whatever. I'm at the age now where I don't even want to wear heels no more.
See, now
and I ain't but 5'4".
But
so
you said this. Hey, here's the thing that's funny.
You 5'5", you in there.
But here's the thing that you just said that's funny. You said, I'm at the age now.
Yeah. There
are 21-year-old women out here, 25-year-old women, calling yourself living your best life. And I hear that term a lot. You want to live your best life. And then you get to be 35, and then you're like, I'm ready to settle down.
No, wait. Now, I still am very picky about who I talk to. I'm very picky about who I talk to. It's just that now it's like I see a lot of the things that I was looking for were superficial.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Some of the young women now, everything is superficial.
Oh, of course.
But what gives me is it's superficial to a degree. I've seen this, and men do it too. I've seen this. You saying you're looking for a man that's 6'1", 6'2", that he got this kind of money, that he can take care of me, and this, that, and the other. But I've seen slide up in your crib around 9, 10 o'clock at night, a guy with pants hanging down. He ain't got much of a job. Somebody dropped him off at your house
over
to knock it down. And because he got some good D, you gonna let him in and come tear this thing up. But you saying you want a man over here, but you playing with this over here.
Okay, now he said he won't talk about me. He was just being general.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. In general,
but that is so true. You see women who put this persona on of wanting a man who's all these accolades on the side, but then when the lights go out, and it's creeping time, you get JoJo from down the street that come over there slipping and creeping, knocking it down, and then come 6 o'clock the next morning, she got her suit on with her nose in the air, giving everybody who was in between JoJo and this $200,000 a year man, everybody in the middle, getting her nose in the air.
Right.
But you was dealing with this dude down here.
And I've seen that happen where it goes from 21, 31, 41, 51, and they still doing the same thing because they're still waiting on, because now, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with the degree and everything. I think it's important to get your education. But what happens, a lot of people now, is because that you're making this kind of money. You're looking for a man that's making that same kind of money. And or even if it's not the money, because I've seen some people have a degree and a master's degree and still ain't making over $40,000 a year.
True.
But because they're making $40,000 and they got a master's, they're looking for that same thing. But he has to make $85,000, $90,000 a year.
But don't they know if they get if you making 45,
right,
and I'm making 45,
right,
that our household now has 90.
Some people don't look at it like that because they would rather pay $1,600 a month in rent on their own than having a man with them that they can, hey, he might pay
25.
He might be, if it's $1,600 a month, now you both are working together to pay that. Or you put an account together that, hey, he might put in $1,200 a month of that and you just adding $400 to it. I mean, he's still paying the bills. He's still paying the bills.
But women, and I think a lot of times, and like I said, I go back to Instagram. Instagram has changed a lot of women's perspective on what a real man is.
Right.
And they're labeling real men. I know men making $250,000 a year who will dog you out. They look like this in public. They give all these accolades in public. You know, people, think that they're, this high dollar man, this high value man, but he is trash behind, in real life. He treats you like pure trash. He's a dog. But because he has all these things, these women knock over these good men to get to him, only to realize that, I just been played.
Right.
Now, you don't wasted however much of your life wasted on this man.
Right.
When a good man was right beside you the whole time. Right.
I've said that to a couple of friends of mine. They were like, well, where are all the good men at? Where's this, that, and the other? I said, you bypassed them. Yeah, I mean, you actually met them, but you put them in the friend zone.
Yep.
Now people do that quick. You put somebody in the friend zone because he doesn't meet what qualifications you have in your mind that you're looking for. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't meet some of those, but there still may be some great men that be great for you.
Yeah.
Just because you got a pretty face and you got a pretty okay, decent body does not mean that you're going to get top of the crop when it comes to certain men. It's just not. It's not going to happen. And people need to understand that. Same thing for men. Just because you 6'2" and you got you in shape, you fit, and you got a regular everyday job, doesn't mean that you can get every fine girl out here.
Exactly.
Now, if you're looking for a wifey material, you definitely gonna have a hard time because she's gonna want to she's expecting certain things.
Yeah, she's gonna expect a lot more than a pretty face.
She's expecting more than just a pretty face. I've seen some guys like that too. I've seen some guys. I'm like, dang, this dude is. When I was like 20, 21, and I saw some guys. He was like 6'2", dark skinned brother, nice fit. I mean, suited down. Every time he walked in the room, the women were like, oh my God. And I'm like, I know he's tearing it up. I know women just at his feet. And they were. And he has done that for so long that now that he's in his 60s and 70s, he's still by himself because he never learned to find one person and stick with. He's still as smooth and sharp as he used to be. But now he's growing old by himself because he played the field way too long. Now, here's the part that women don't like. He played the field way too long. But I know for a fact, if he said he want to get married next week, he got plenty of women that will marry. Now, it ain't that easy sometimes for women.
No.
When they get to be in their 40s, 50s, and 60s to find somebody that want to marry them just like that. He can still find somebody to marry. But he still wants to find, now he's looking for that diamond in the rough. And it's not going to happen because most of the people know who he is, how he moves, how he operates. They're not interested in that.
No.
They're not interested in that. So, but we got, as normal, we always all over the place. We just wanted to have.
We kind of stayed on it because
we did.
Literally, I say the men who started this whole movement. I understand what you're saying, and it's hilarious. These videos, if you watch these videos, they're absolutely hilarious. But I think you guys should have came and you should have hit harder. You should have hit like Chris Brown's diss track. You should have came back and told them, look, I don't mind paying for everything financially in this household, taking care of everything from the front door to the back.
Right.
But
what if he can't? What if he can't pay everything from the front door to the back?
I'm saying these women, you're broke if you can't do this. If that's what they're looking for and you can afford it, then you should lay out your groundwork about what you expect from them. Now, if you can't afford it, guess what? Those women are just not for you.
Right.
I used to think, back in the day when we was dating back in high school, you think, oh my God, when I broke up, I'll never find nobody else. I'll never be alone the rest of my life.
Right.
Not knowing your next boyfriend or girlfriend right around the corner.
Right.
Let them go.
But now I think that's where the problem comes in, is a lot of people think they still can find that man around the corner. Just because somebody's in your DM doesn't mean that men are still jumping off the roof to get with you in a serious capacity.
Yeah.
Now they might get with you, want to take you out to dinner and get to know you and try to enjoy other parts of you.
Exactly.
But if your DM keeps getting full of people hitting you up and you go out on dates with them, or you try to talk to them on the phone and it ain't working, that lets you know there's still an issue.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to be married or you want to be in a serious relationship and you got folks all in your DM and you still can't find nobody, that means you got to look at yourself.
And honestly,
you might be picking the wrong person.
Honestly, I don't think going out on a date right off is the best idea. Honestly, I believe in talking on the phone and getting to know you, because after a couple of conversations, there's things that this man's going to eventually say is going to raise my flag.
Right.
Like, do I really want to deal with this? And I've talked to guys on the phone and they'll say something like, okay. Right then, and I'll politely, we get this conversation over with, and then they'll call and I'll pick up, hey, how you doing? Okay, well, I'm busy right now, let me hit you back. And you start slowly pulling yourself away, because now you can't even tell a guy no without violence almost.
You think so?
Yeah. This guy literally shot this girl because she told him no.
Well, I mean, I know that, but that was one incident. You know how many guys get told no every single day?
But I don't take no chances.
But that's one,
you're not coming to my house at all.
I'm not saying invite anybody to your house, but you think because you tell a man, on average, when you tell a man no, he might still keep trying, because now women used to like that. He's so persistent. Girl, something about him. I don't know if I want to go out with him, but he's so persistent.
But it's persistent because they felt something for him. If I'm getting to know you and I find you attractive, and then you say something to me that's one of my red flags, or kind of puts my antennas up, like, okay, you know what?
But is that because your antenna went up because of past experience?
True.
But this is a different person.
Yeah. And then I didn't say I cut them off immediately.
Right.
But I'm like, the conversations, we still go have these conversations, and I let you prove yourself to me. Right. I'm not gonna. I don't jump in. One, you're not gonna know where I live at. Right. You're not gonna know where I work at. Right. And I want to get to know you. Right. First. Right. And let me take you out to dinner. Okay, you can take me out. That's where we're gonna meet at. Right. Right. No, I'm gonna pick you up. No.
I don't think that anybody need to be picking anybody up for at least 2 or 3 days. And then if you're comfortable enough, you'd be like, you know what? I don't know if I want you to come to my house yet, but I am getting comfortable with you. Now he knows that, okay, eventually I may end up picking you up at your house.
Because you guys can't move.
But now,
something don't work out.
But yeah, that's true. But now here's the thing too. What brought about a lot of this too, the drizzle and the sprinkle and the bad dating things, are some of these dating apps. Because now, and my wife and I, we met, believe it or not, through a dating app. I was shocked. I found out I happened to be up there because someone was interested in me building them a dating website. And I'm like, I've never
Are you
been on one.
serious?
Yeah. They want me to build them a dating website. And I
Wow.
went up there just to kind of look around and see how it was all about. And it was cool. And then one of the guys I used to work with, he was like, man, you could really meet some good people up there. But he was talking about just, to hook up. I was like, to be honest with you, I don't need no dating app to hook up. That's what I want to do. We joked about it. He's like, well, fill this out. We filled it out one day at work. And then I just happened to scroll through plenty of faces, plenty of people. But she had a casual in her office picture. She won't doing this number or anything. It was just like you can tell somebody took the picture. Right. I could just tell that it was a coworker or somebody was in there, and she was like, just took a picture. I'm like, I kind of like that look. Swipe. Said that we were a match, and we just started talking. And we talked maybe 3 or 4 weeks before we ever met.
Oh, okay.
So, and it kind of worked from there.
Hear that?
But here's the thing. I know plenty of people that go on these dating apps just to either go out on a dinner date or to be able to hook up with somebody. Men and women both, because I know some women that are very high, powerful women, and they say, yeah, I've gone on these apps and met men, and because I knew I just need to get my rocks off, I went out with them a couple of times. We would do some things, and now I'm good for another few months. They was like, hey.
Wow.
They was like,
ladies, I got something that you can buy for all that. Don't keep.
Ain't nobody studying the rules. Ain't nobody studying the rules, man. She talking about. That's the whole thing. And see, y'all can have all this stuff in the world that you want, but what in the world? Let a man have a blow up doll in the house. Y'all be talking junk about tomorrow. Look at this punk.
See, this is why it's after dark. Just go to your pocket. That's all I'm gonna say. Just go to your pocket.
Go to your pocket.
Go to your pocket. Yeah.
Bro, I ain't saying that. I ain't saying nothing else.
I'm just
done.
saying.
I'm done. We gonna shut the show down.
Yes, we are.
Okay, all right. Like I said, we're gonna be trying to do more shows here in VMG Marketing Studio. Today we just threw up the webcam. We've got a few things set up, but everything is not quite in place yet. But we're looking at doing more shows. Oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. So if you would like to be a guest on the show, once we get some things set up, we're gonna have a round table discussion. We would love to have you come on the show. And we've got some sponsors coming up too. Yeah. We've got a couple of sponsors. We're gonna be doing some commercials and stuff, have the ads on the screen. So,
and if you have a business
definitely
that you're looking to market or have a commercial or a photo shoot or even down to a web page, hit us up. VMG Marketing got you.
VMG Marketing, we got you covered. I'm working with John Ivy on some projects. Ivy Vines Media Marketing is something else that we're doing because we're going to be doing events and talking about the projects that we do. So we got some big things coming.
Let's not forget our other one of our other co-hosts who has her own show.
Yes,
Courtney.
Yes. Courtney, who was on earlier.
Yeah.
Keep it connected.
Keep it connected.
We're going to be doing some bigger shows with Courtney as well.
Definitely.
And let me say this for any of you guys out there, go to creativerse.org.
Yes.
Creativerse.org is a big event that's coming up May 17th and 18th. The 17th is going to be a meet and greet on the rooftop of the Red Hat headquarters in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then that Saturday, there's going to be a bunch of classes going on teaching you how to market your business, how to grow your service, how to price your business, and how to work with new customers, clients, and pull in and close the deal. So we've got some major speakers that will be at that as well. So for more information, go to creativerse.org.
Yes. So after this first installment of Keeping It 100, make sure you see that the background and everything, because when you see it again, maybe next couple of times, it's gonna keep changing until we get it like we want it. But we are definitely working towards something good, something great.
Something great.
So hit us up if you want any topics that you want to talk about on Keeping It 100 after dark. Hit us up. We will hold those comments or those suggestions, and we will discuss them next time we go live.
All right.
All right.
Till next time, y'all have a good night.
Keep it 100.